potential, right, like 80+%, then if they lose, the next one is almost always a 50-50.
Yep.
Nobody wants to go for the confident vote because they just don't know. There's so many upsets that have been happening, but Stingray mixing up the characters again, going over to the Ragnar against Java.
And Stingray pulled out the Ragnar, I believe, in the last set that was up against Radish, and also has been cycling so much, but has also been bringing people quite often here to spawn Enigma. He's been feeling pretty confident with his Axe gameplay on the tri-plat layout, and I personally am a huge fan of that signature. It's the main reason why I was playing Ragnar at the start, and he is loving it too.
I mean, utilizing those soft platforms, going for 3 N6, and he's been really, really good about that. Sidelight Nair into an N6 off the soft platform, chasing down Java right now. Needs to find that finishing blow, has him in that KO %. The side air is not going to do enough.
Well, if Stingray continues to play the way he's playing so far, he's been doing pretty solid and punishing a lot of Java's game plan. That being said, Java has been a monster when Spear is in his hand. Sword has been solid, but the Spear has been the actual issue for many all weekend. And now that it's shown up, there's a likelihood that he loses his stock, which is going to go out there and try and find maybe a dare. Gonna give him that range, though. Ground Pound closes it out. So right on cue, he gets rid of the Sword, gets the Spear. Good coaching.
And he's going to go stick with the Spear for now. Sidelight doesn't connect with the neutral air. Stingray still needs to find that finishing blow. He had that damage early on onto Java, but he wasn't able to get the stock.
They're going to go ahead and get rid of that right away. So he's going to come back in, and Stingray, he's got stage control. One thing I've noticed more often than not, though, is how successful his Axe has been. I haven't been able to watch as much success with the Katars, but if you play Katars at all this weekend, it's going to succeed. That's just basically been the theme of it all.
Yeah, Katars have just been looking good for basically everyone this weekend, and obviously Stingray, no slouch on them either as he's getting this damage built up onto Java, doesn't at the end sig. Edgeguard opportunity, he's going to back off.
They're trying to catch him with D-Sig on a ledge too, but he's not going to give that up to him, and Java falling off stage actually off that sidelight. I think he was trying to catch him afterwards, but was not in position. Sider gets him at least back on stage. Trying to get an anti-air. I like the idea because Stingray just jumped in front of you like 4 times.
And I love that mix-up there. This time doesn't go for sidelight Nair N-Sig. Instead went for a side air. Didn't quite catch, though. Keeping Java on his toes.
I like the attempt at Stingray trying to immediately cover the route he would have had to take to go get that weapon pick up a recovery, too. Weapon toss down, though. Sweat beads are on. He goes for the dare, but he actually misspaces it. And Java had a moment to try and push at him with the dare, but he misses himself trying to box his way on. He does get back on. They're back to center.
Stingray really trying to catch Java's movement there. You saw him trying to kick him away with that gravity cancel sidelight, but Java stayed just outside of it. He's going to catch the down air. One more hit. It's the ground pound. Java with the stock lead.
Good spacing right there. Make sure he did not get too far away so he could punish that recovery for free. And that was an instant recovery right there, wasting no time. And right back to even.
Yeah, optimal with that one. Got the downlight gravity cancel. Neutral heavy has a little bit more force on it than the recovery. And now final stocks basically even.
This is another type of set where I look at it and go, this could be a Game 5 type set, but the first one mattering so much. But he finally pulls the neutral stick back out. He was holding on to it. He did so many to start the game off, trying to trip up Java now.
Yeah, just keep that pacing changing. Java not sure what Stingray's options are going to be, but he answered back pretty well after that whiffed N-Sig.
He really did. And Java is actually doing really good again. Oh, he goes for the third. We saw it earlier, like you were mentioning before, with that Apocalypse reset on the platform.
He's really good about it. I love that he got the first ledge canceled downlight, but Stingray still had the dodge, so he was able to get away from the third one.
That was really good evasiveness. Oh, the weapon toss almost lining him up for a perfect recovery or side air. But now it's an opportunity for Stingray trying to find the D-Light ground pound. He's going to give up stage, and Java's going to get back on with that punish with the side air.
Java's been winning out in those off-stage sword scrambles against Stingray. You're going to see that in the second stock, I believe, as well, where he, hits that down air and then hits that ground pound, and then in this final stock as well, where Stingray's swinging and Java just turns around side air.
And Stingray feeling confident about sticking it out with the Ragnar, too. He's not going to switch off. Do you think this is the right play for him, or do you think that it's it was just, I mean, it was a close game overall.
I never know with Stingray, because, for what it's worth, I thought the Zol looked amazing. I didn't think there was much reason to switch off the Zol. Then he goes to the Orion. Then he mixes it up to the Roland. Then he goes over to the Vector. And now he's on to the Ragnar. He's played so many different Legends, and I can't really catch why.
That's actually a pretty good point. I forgot that the Legend count is up to like 5 right now. So not really feeling the Orion today. They literally had one game that we watched on stream. It lost and it disappeared. So the Ragnar has been putting in work, and he's feeling comfortable at least with it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten some good damage built up onto Java. Nice. That's going to be a dodge from Java, so Stingray has potential, but he backs away. and Java's going to get back to the wall safely.
Java trying to go for a nair to catch him on his way down, but nothing connects. The stage control is in favor of Stingray, but for Java, it's like, it's not really much reason for me to engage. I'll just hover, wait for you. Weapon toss down. Oh, that was almost so clean, but he misses out on the ground pound afterwards.
I think Java ended up paying for that earlier as well, where he whiffed the ground pound, and I think it was Stingray who ended up getting like a sidelight side air to KO.
You might be onto something with that. I do remember he lost a set due to that. He also ended up winning a set later on with that same play. So it's been back and forth with him, but he ends up taking out the first stock here to start off this round. That one took a little while to actually go.
Yeah, and surprising to see it be the spear side sig, something that I don't see Java throw out too often, and yet it connected and it KO'd.
That recovery should do it, and that's going to do it. So Stingray not wasting too much time. He's actually been really comfortable with the Katars, which is throwing me off because, like I was saying before, I felt like a lot of what worked for him so well for Zol on this stage was that axe, and it's actually not really been the game plan so far.
Yeah, it's something that he's just kind of kept in the back pocket, really trying to get these Katars ready. Maybe he's trying to look a little bit into the future. We've seen Luna's been struggling against the Katar players today.
That's actually a really good point. There's been a lot of people who have been struggling in general against Katars. One Katar has already won a championship this weekend, so it seems people are working towards it, and they're not ready for the matchup experience on it. But right now, dead even.
Yeah, and you can see Java really utilizing these soft platforms, picking and choosing when he's going to come down, try to challenge Stingray. Falling Nair from Stingray will catch some movement, but not the biggest punish.
And none coming in off of that. Let's see if he can snatch him off the ledge. He's gone for D-Sig a few times in that spot. That time going for N-Sig off the top platform. But Java's been really good after the very beginning where he got hit by like 3 axe N-Sigs. Like, all right, I'm actually done with that. And he's been avoiding almost every one of them since.
And Light back away, was reading the dodge in from Java.
Playing in center, getting a punish on the sideline. Only a dare, though. Not really much you could do because he's already committed to a jump. Looking for a nair, looking for anything to get this started. This is some of the most patient play, by the way. Not just from Java, but from Stingray that I think I actually have ever seen. They're refusing to commit, but he finally catches him. That's going to steal the stock.
I mean, Stingray has that potential. He's definitely had matches where he plays the most intense neutral he can, where he really picks and chooses his opportunities. On the other side, I haven't really seen Java be that neutral heavy before. I think it's purely a response to Stingray. Yeah,
I mean, like, Java's always been kind of a machine whenever Hammer would come out on Boulevard, but now being forced to switch things up. The Spear was doing it all day, but now it's I like the respect, because if you constantly rush in and you whiff directly in front of Stingray, you're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Stingray does not let you get away with whiffing, but Java will not let Stingray get away with whiffing that side light as he's going to hit the side sig again for a KO. Final stocks here in game number 2.
And 1 stock apiece. Tone setter really kind of looming right now. Stingray needs to answer back so he can put it at 1 apiece and feel comfortable with sticking with this Ragnar. I like the attempt off the ground pound bounce, though. That could have lined up off that platform. Gets the D-Light recovery. He's not been afraid to go for 2 of those.
Yeah, he's going for more. Didn't quite connect, though. Stingray got away from it. Actually has the damage lead over Java. The side light not going to connect. Java disarms himself, goes over the spear.
Recovery gets away from the follow-up spear recovery. Side air sends him back off stage. There's a good opportunity here for Stingray. Not going to charge up the ground pound. Just keep him stage control. Waiting for him to use all his resources. He does not get the side air, Duke.
Oh, but he's going to get that one. Java gets launched. And again, Stingray just waiting out the options of Java. Trying to catch that landing. Java comes back down, has a sword, beats out the falling side air.
And lights are in play. Gets a dare. Does not go for a GCD light off of that. Oh, my God. Oh my God, it's actually incredibly scary right now. 1 D-Light recovery should do it. 1 straight up recovery, but now Stingray is unarmed.
He missed the wall, and Java cries for him. Don't cry for me, Argentina, but Java is crying for Stingray as he is up 2-0, and just a tragedy occurs on the final stock.
That one's a hurtful moment right there, getting underneath the stage and gonna fall after that. So now Stingray is forced to play it with a 2-0 lead. Recovery catches the ledge, but we are going to stay with Katars. He is going to keep them, but this time another Asuri has graced top 4.
It's been a bit since we've seen an Asuri on our screen. 387 damage put out on his Ragnar Katars. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what was getting all the work done. The axe has just been irrelevant. So going to go with a more consistent, simple game plan with the sword. And like we said before, I mean, Surrey just put in so much work this weekend. You saw Kinda get that dub. You saw Dot putting in work earlier this weekend. So the Katars have been the name of the game, and that is continuing here for Stingray.
Yeah, and really, like, Stingray was struggling to finish with the axe, right? He had to find those fadeaway Sayers and add up quite a bit of damage. Going over the sword with that consistent KO tool of the downlight setup for the Sayer recovery, it's going to be a lot better for him, especially off the soft platform if you can get another one.
I like the fact he decided to reset too. You do not want to get caught by spear recovery in exchange for trying to double up on an exhausted recovery play up there, because Java will punish you for it. It's already happened earlier today.
Oh, yeah, he's just hoping that you're going to bet on that second recovery and you can get that turnaround. Right now, though, Stingray's sword play working really well against Java. He's adding up that damage.
And we've been staying on triplats, too. We actually haven't gone away from here. D-Light side air might be enough to get that closeout. He is not going to be able to sneak his way underneath either. No tears need to go out for this one, though, because that was only the first stock.
Yeah, and a big bet from Java, expecting Stingray to come down, also try to change up his movement as he goes towards the stage. Stingray's like, well, I watched you burn everything. Goodbye.
Yeah, no need to overextend in those positions, because that's how you end up losing out on edge guard. But also sometimes giving an opportunity to give someone a chance to get back. Looking for the dare reset, does not find the mark, but at least here in Game 3, it's still Katars, but it's looking better.
Yeah, and he's getting so many hits on the Java. Java, his only response in the last minute or so has been that weapon toss. There's the downlight double. Misses the jump for the Sayer. I thought he was going to go for the triple. For
I honestly thought he was going to go for the triple, too, and might not have prepared for it. The recovery won't be enough here. But this is actually going to give Stingray a chance to go up. That chance is no longer a question. He has now gone up 2 stocks.
Yeah, this is a great swap from Stingray over to the Asuri, and he really wants to get himself on the board because, again, this is the elimination side of the bracket. Losing here means Stingray is going home with the 4th place finish.
Trying to make sure that does not happen. Trying to make sure that continues here. The Nair falling in. Java has actually been struggling really hard to get something started. Oh, this is actually a big opportunity for Stingray to get a steal here, but he's going to get reversed. That was so good by Java to keep himself in the game.
Yeah, good option from him, going for that gravity cancel, side signature, and making sure he gets the wall touch, because the side sig did not move him close enough to reset his jumps.
Now Stingray, you just basically need to just not overextend too much. You must still get hits. You are up a decent amount, but you don't want to have something like that happen where Java potentially gets you gone in the yellow.
Java's getting some damage, but oh, they go Sig for Sig, and Stingray wins. He's going to get himself on the board.
Faster pull on the trigger right there to be able to sneak his way in through with his own and get that knockout. 547 damage, 351. The theme is still the same. It's always been the Katars every match. It's just he couldn't find anything else afterwards. Even with the sword, he didn't do a whole lot with it. It just seems that he's got something to figure out that time, and let's see if he can continue that here. We do have a game number 4, Duke.
And we see that accuracy. I think that's the big thing with this Asuri. 3 SIGs thrown out, 100% accuracy. You saw 2 of them lead to KOs on those edge guard situations, and it's one of those things where I had to pause for a moment and be like, okay, he swapped because of specifically the Qatar signature, and I get it. The down SIG covers more close to the stage than that single Spitfire that Ragnar does, where it just covers the edge. Instead, he's like, okay, I'm going to cover this entire path where if you dodge along it, you're going to get caught.
That's actually a really good point right there. Every single time he tried to go for it before, it was just too far away, and Java was never scared of it. Now Java actually has to be scared of it. It's not very often we see that 100% marker on signatures, even though it's only 3. Usually, it'll be maybe 50% tops amongst 4 that are thrown, but those 2 will find their mark. The fact that he did that, amazing job. And look at how long he made that first stock work. It was impossible to be knocked out. And a consistent climb of damage each time he found an opener.
Yeah, you can see just those long periods where his stock is not taking any damage, just these flat lines, and Java is consistently taking damage. That is neutral win on neutral win on neutral win.
Consistent thing with us, lots of game 4s. Pretty much every single game 3 has been won by the opposing player refusing to give up just yet, and Java willing to let the lineup still go back to this stage. Don't disagree with it. You won the first 2 games here. You got cooked on 1 game. It is what it is, and he's been playing so well, you can definitely expect a rebound.
Nobody goes gently into the dark. Instead, they all go out clawing and fighting, and Java fighting for this game for W so we can go on into the top 3. Stingray right now swinging a little bit, goes over to the Katars. This is the weapon of choice, but Java's playing that range game now.
And Java trying to prevent a back-to-back fourth-place finish. He was fourth place at Summers, falling to Radish's insane run, and Stingray falling to Radish at third place. So both of them trying to vie for a better placing here to get further up in Summers, but that depends on if Stingray could stop this 2-1 lead. That ground pound is going to make it a little bit more difficult. He punishes him heavy for going early on that recovery. That's the first stock.
Great pickup. Java's starting to hit those spear side sigs more, and they are KOing consistently for him. Here's the weapon spawn. Stingray ends up picking up the sword. He needs more damage, and Java's going to punish that dodge in.
Oh, 4 pieces out of that, too. Catching him with the closer with the Nair. Quick damage, and now Stingray pushing pretty hard. Well, let's see if he can close this out here. Does he find the Dare? He does.
Still got
Java's
the wall touch, though.
Oh, actually, just all of a sudden turned into good. That turned into a momentary good turn for Java. Gonna go out there for the cider, and he goes for the wall-bound cider. This is actually very bad for him. Went so heavy for the wall-bound cider when he had complete stage control. Now he's looking at a 3-1 stock lead.
The gravity cancel emote from Stingray, maybe signifying that this one is a done deal because he is behind the 3 stocks of Java.
Let's see if he can figure it out anytime soon. That's one. Didn't take any damage essentially here on this stock. Easier said than done, but you just need a perfect stock. Minimize the damage.
Ground pound. Stingray. He's not gonna touch! Stingray's allergic to walls, and unfortunately he falls in game number 4 to just accidents. The butter on the walls was too much.
That is definitely a brand new allergy I haven't heard of in a while, but it's definitely something we need to get diagnosed ASAP because he has fallen 2 games, he misses the corner, and that is going to be Java guaranteeing a podium finish in a little while now. Stingray has fallen out of the top 3, and once again, another 4th place finish. He went 4th to 3rd, but this time coming back to 4th.
Unfortunate for Stingray, but very fortunate for Java, who's been making this lower bracket run, and now he's going to be going into